Okay, let me start. Hi, Max. So I'm Dattatray Kumar, and I'm working as a full-time consultant as well, and I have around 10 years of experience in IT, and all my 10 years of experience was into this ERP domain only. So from day one, I was into this ERP only. Of course, D365 was. I started working on D365 in 2018, but I started my career on X 2009. The earlier versions of D365 X have started my career on X 2009 and 2012 R2 and R3. These are the versions that I have worked later, and then followed by D365. And most probably, mm, um, my area of expertise was into the trade and logistics functional area, which is under the supply chain management of Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. And I'm a consultant on the advanced warehouse management as well. So these are the two areas which I look after in my full-time role, which I'm working. Teaching is also one of my professions. Okay, so it's almost around 7 years completed for now, and that's all about me. So I have a PowerPoint presentation for today's demo session. So I'll share my screen and then I'll go through the slides. But yeah, those slides are prepared in a generic way, honestly. But yeah, maybe I'll start with a question called what is IT? What sort of operations happen in IT? Because for my sessions, sometimes people who are just graduated, those people will join. But I don't want to make you bore with those things. I'll make it I'll make it very crispy and informative. And but yeah, if I am going through the slides, you can understand how I'm analyzing the things, so that you can you can uh, confirm, or you can take a decision whether to choose me as your trainer or not. So I can assure you that. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. So I have introduced myself, right? So I have mentioned some topics that we are going to cover in this particular demo session, but yeah, I don't really mean reading those names again and again, but it doesn't make any sense, I feel. But yeah, what I'm going to provide you in the next, what was the information that I'm going to share with you in the next 30 minutes, and what was the clarity that I'm going to give you by the end of this session is. um I can tell you about the introduction of ERP, okay, and then why we need to. You already know, as you are already working in IT. So usually I'll let them know what are the responsibilities for a functional consultant role in IT, and a little bit of introduction to this particular course, what we are going to cover, and then what contains in this particular course. I am going to discuss about those details. Okay. So my first one. So what is IT? Of course, IT stands for information technology. But yeah, as you are already working in IT, so could you please share your view? What happens in IT? Of course, if you want to. It doesn't mean that I'm forcing you. Sorry if I'm bothering you for that. So what you are saying is generally a project-related life cycle, how we proceed from the initiation to the end. So yeah, but whatever you told is 100% correct. This is what the procedure that we usually follow whenever we are handling the project. But in a generic way, what is I'll just share my view about IT. So what I see, or what I understood in my 10 years of experience is, uh, IT people or IT industry, so or the operations that are being carried out in IT industry can be categorized into two ways. The first one is using the information. IT industry or IT people will sell the technology. This is the first point. This is the first point. So using the information, IT industry or IT people will sell the technology. So what sort of information is it? It is, as you told, it will be a an information about the customer business, and the requirements from the customer can be considered as an information. So based on that, we will decide whether Dynamics 365 is the right fit or not for them for their business operations. Accordingly, if we feel that Dynamics 365 is the right ERP for them. So we will customize the application according to their requirements, and then we will sell that particular technology to them. This is one sort of area, one sort of business area under IT. Okay, and the second one is using the technology. I mean, let's say again, uh, what we are doing. I mean, let's say if the application was already ready, okay, and what we are going to, we can provide support operations also, right? So using the information, I mean, using the technology like Dynamics 365 F and work. So we can create the data, we can save the data, and then whenever the data we want, so we can retrieve the data and then we can transfer the data. So let's say in a generic code I'm telling you, so in a very generic way, I can not only consider, I'm not only considering Dynamics 365, but I'm considering the in general IT related applications, softwares, tools, etc., etc. So these are the two mode of operations that happens in IT usually. So this is my view. I'm not saying that 100% all the operations will come under these two areas only, but yes, um, I mean, I would say 70 to 80% of the operations that we do will come under these two categories only. And moreover, the operation that we do, we will handle it in a way keeping the heading as project. So for me, a project is a set of tasks that can be or that will be done by a single person or multiple people as a team within the stipulated time. That is the project. So whatever the work that we do in an IT organization, it will be considered as a. I mean, it will be executed with the heading as project. Okay. I mean, I'll add this slide for graduates and all, but it doesn't mean that. I mean, I'll just present it in front of the experienced people as well, because they will understand how I am looking towards the things and all, so that it will help them to understand whether to choose me as their trainer or not. That's why I'll discuss about this particular slide. So what is ERP? Do you have an idea about ERP? I'll explain this by taking an example of a business. Okay, so let's say um, I mean the very usual and the example that I take about explaining the ERP is, um, let's say I'll take the business of Maruti Suzuki. It's a automobile company in India. I hope they have their business in US as well. I'm not sure about that, but I'm expecting that they have their business in US, and I know in UAE they have their business. Let's say any car manufacturing company, what they will do usually, they will manufacture. I mean, if someone asks them what this company will do, so Maruti Suzuki. So they will, the very high level answer that we get from that person is they will manufacture and sell that car to their customers. So this is what the answer that we get. But if you think from the perspective of the automobile company called Maruti Suzuki, they will what lies behind is they will have multiple departments there. So multiple departments in the sense they will have a procurement team, to procure the raw materials, and they will have the inventory and warehouse management team, so to handle the incoming stock and outgoing stock, and then they will have the manufacturing team who will take care of the production related things and all, and they will have the uh, marketing team who will market the product and then bring the customer's attention, and then they will have the sales team to provide a good sales experience to the customer, and after sales service team will be there to provide service on the product that the company is selling. And as these many departments are there, obviously human resource department will be there, and payroll department will be there. And also, as money is involved here, so they will have the finance team. In some companies they will be segregated into two teams by with the names accounts payable and accounts receivable. Okay, so that was the thing. And so now, if we go into the next level of this particular discussion about the ERP, let's take the procurement department as an example. So what they will do, they will create purchase orders. This is their primary duty in the organization. So how they will create, I mean, on what basis they will create the uh, I mean, on what basis they will create this particular purchase orders based on understanding the demand, and let's say if they want to manufacture 1 lakh cars in that particular year, okay, 100,000 cars in that particular year, they will not buy all the raw materials at a time, because they need to have such storage spaces to store those raw materials in a proper way. So according to the production cycles that they have, let's say in the month of January they are planning to they are planning to manufacture some 10,000 cards. So accordingly, they will procure the raw materials for that particular month, and they will uh, utilize those products for their production cycles and all. So now multiple raw materials will be there, and it's not one vendor who will supply all the raw materials. Multiple vendors will be there, and they will not. They may supply all this stock in single instance, and they may supply the stock in multiple deliveries. Right. So in that scenario, considering that this particular scenario, they need a system support to define or to keep a track of all the purchase orders that they have created. Point number one. And they need to have the track of the delivery dates of each and every uh, stock that vendor is supplying. Point number two. And then point number three is they need to have a proper understanding on how much, on what was the quantity that was purchased against each and every item, and what was the money associated, or the amounts associated with that particular purchase order. So in order to keep a track of all those things, definitely they need a system support for that, a software support for that. Like this, each and every department in the company, they need a software support, because it's not one purchase order, or it's not one sale, or it's not one inbound or outbound, or inbound outbound means one stock coming transaction and one stock outgoing transaction per day. So many customers will be there, many transactions will be there. So in order to keep, and the company may have operations in multiple regions. So in order to handle all these things, each and every department required a solution support in the form, from a software. So what does ERP will do? So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP will help the organization, or ERP will consider all the needs of the different departments that exist in the company, and they will bring all those needs or the requirements to one particular software platform, and through that particular software platform, ERP will provide a solution. In some Google websites, it will be, when you try to search about in Google about ERP, in some websites it will be ERP itself is a software. I'm little against to that particular word called ERP itself is a software. If ERP itself is a software, okay, then why we have different names for it? So for me, ERP will provide a solution approach. Okay, so to the business needs, right? So Microsoft Dynamics, why we are learning this ERP now? Because Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations is an ERP product. So where Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations is a product which can provide solution to the business for their purchasing, purchase management, and then the Dynamics 365 can provide solutions through its functionalities that are available in the application, for the inventory and warehouse management, for the finance related things, for the human resource management, for the production related things, for the inventory related things, for the customer, for the uh, accounts payable and accounts receivable team, for the retail sales related things. So for all these things, Dynamics 365 has its own functionality. The product Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations is designed in such a way. Okay, so that's why we are. We are. There is an utmost need to know about this particular slide called ERP. Okay, and then the next one. So basically, I used to mention the 6 phases of the software development life cycle. So Max, as you told, you are aware of this. Whatever the thing that you have explained me today, that you told me today, is something about this, the cycle that we follow in order to execute a particular project. And a function. what we will become if you learn this particular product, if you enter into this particular field called ARP of Dynamics 365 and Go ARP. So you will, become a functional consultant, and these are the six phases that will be there in the project life cycle. So a functional consultant involvement will be in these first two phases, analysis and design. So here the functional consultant has to go to the customer site and they have to know the requirement. And the first and foremost thing is they need to understand why the customer is looking for an ERP solution, because ERP solution or buying an license for the ERP product is not easy. Like example, of course, if you consider Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, the company has to involve some crores of money there, okay, millions of money there, $1 million of money. So why a functional consultant? First and foremost thing, he or she has to understand whether what is the reason the customer is looking for the ERP solution. Okay, so that will initiate uh, towards the discussion of the requirements in each and every area. So, functional consultant will gather the requirements, and he or she has to decide whether the requirements given for the requirements given, the Dynamics 365 F&O is the right fit or not. It has to be decided, and then next comes the design phase, where if something, according to the requirement that was given, if there are no out of the box features, they have to customize the Dynamics 365 application. So customize for the customization, design is required, how that particular requirement is going to be executed. Okay, let's say what was the design that we are going to implement in order to achieve that execution of the functionality. So that work also should be done by the functional consultant. And again, development will be done by the technical consultant, so where coding will be involved there. And after the coding is completed, testing also should be done by the functional consultant only, because each and every design, let's say we have designed a login page. Okay, so I'm not saying about Dynamics 365, I'm saying about Gmail. Let's say we have a requirement from the customer on a very high level that I need a login page. This was the requirement. So now, as a functional consultant, we need to design in such a way there should be two boxes in the middle of the page, and it should be of this much size and in rectangular shape. And on top of the first box, there should be a name called username, and on top of the second box, there should be a word with the name as the password. So the person who has entered the right username and password, then only they have to be authenticated. And if by any chance, if they entered the wrong credential, system should show a message that the username as password are incorrect. So if this is how a functional consultant has to design the application. Okay, so now each and every step that we design, let's say the rectangular boxes are available or not, only when the right credentials are entered, then only the system should authenticate this. All these things will become the test cases. So we need to do the functional testing, not the technical code related testing. We need to do the functional testing. So functional consultant is responsible for that as well. And then we have the a functional consultant will be involved in the maintenance area as well, where the functional consultant will become the first point of contact for the uh, customer related queries and all once after the project went live. Okay, so these are the responsibilities for a functional consultant will have. So now uh, when a functional consultant can do their job very effectively, so when when they know the product, let's say if they have the idea on the functionalities that are available in Dynamics 365 F&O, they can understand the customer requirements and they can um, give a solution to the customer requirements. If something they felt that if there is no the out of the box feature is not available, then they have to customize it. So uh, whether to go for the standard feature available or whether to go for the customization. So when it will be decided, when the person is having the knowledge on the standard product, then only it is possible. So we have what through this particular course we are knowing the standard product now. So under the area called trade and logistics, which will be under the supply chain management. So as the name of the application is Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Now we are under the course of the operations side, where I mean, which I felt it was supply chain management. So under supply chain management, we have 1 minute. So under supply chain management, we have three courses available. So trade and logistics, advanced warehouse management, and production. So when we learn, I mean, in the market, how it is like, so it was divided into three courses. So it's a good start with the trade and logistics because it covers about 6 modules here. What are those 6 modules? So these are the 6 modules that we are going to cover. I mean, we have a curriculum for that with the I mean, with respect to the curriculum that we have. I mean, what are the topics that are there in the curriculum? So according to that particular curriculum, uh, the whatever the topics that are there in that particular curriculum are spread over the 6 modules. So what are those 6 modules? So under this trade and logistics, primarily we are focusing on 4 areas. Okay, the purchase management, the sales management, inventory management, product management. Okay, so these are the four areas where we are going to cover under this particular trade and logistics. So now under the purchase management area or the purchasing area, we have 2 modules available in the system: accounts payable and procurement and sourcing. And under the sales module, we have 2 modules. Module in the sense, it's an area where it's a collection of, it's a repository of something where we have all the I mean, let's say if it is a purchase module, I told. So it's a repository of all the functionalities that exist in the system with respect to the purchasing scenarios. Okay, we have a sales area too, where we have 2 modules there: accounts receivable and sales and marketing. And then inventory management, we have only one module available for that. And then we have the product information management module, which deals about the product management. So these are the 4 areas that we are going to cover: purchase management, sales management, inventory management, product management. These are the 4 areas that we are going to cover under this particular trade and logistic course. So I mean, if you want to go with the operation side, it's always a good start with the trade and logistics, because this particular course will start from the basics, like what was the initial setup that we need to create in the system, and then it starts from the how to create a product, how to create a purchase order, the options are the functionalities that are available in the purchase order, the sales order, how the inventory will be tracked, how the inventory transactions will be automatically created, how the inventory movements will happen. All those things will be discussed in that particular module. And once you are done with the trade and logistics, either you can go for production or you can go for advanced warehouse management. Anything is any course you can take. So advanced warehouse management will detail about one particular module called warehouse management, and production has 2 modules again, so production control and master planning. But now whatever the course that we are discussing is about trade and logistics. So I am the trainer for trade and logistics course. So I'm going to discuss about this 6 modules. Okay. And we have a curriculum for that, and we have the topics that we are going to discuss in that particular curriculum. So in order to complete that particular curriculum, so we need a minimum of 50 to 60 classes, a minimum of 50 classes and a maximum of 60 classes. So almost, I mean, considering 1 hour per day, Monday to Friday, so it will take around 2.5 months to complete this particular course. So considering 20 to 22 sessions per month, so it will take around 2.5 months to complete this particular course. So that's about my demo.